Greetings and welcome to the Revenant After Our podcast. I'm your host, Joshua Alexander, and today we are unveiling a new segment called Top 5. We have some old faces that you've seen and also some new faces that you have not seen. And today on Top 5, we're going to be talking about 5 or 10 story elements that you enjoy or it's important to you as a storyteller. So before we begin that, just go around the room briefly introduce. We are Carol, who you've seen on the roundtable discussion. She is a filmmaker, writer, director, as well. Graduated from Fairleigh Dickinson, right? Yes, yes, yes. Is also doing some creative stuff in the, I would say, art department,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
is it like more of like grip department?
Art department.
Art department. Set. Moving on up. We have Alexandra Bates, who is new. She is a writer, also a soon-to-be director. Soon-to-be director. She also does some podcast things as well. Listen to a few. And she comes all the way from Virginia to be here. This is very great. We have Marcus Evans, a longtime collaborator of the scene for everything that I do. So this man needs no introduction at all, but we're gonna do it anyway. Marcus is a writer, director, also a storyteller as well. We have a long top of collaborations, all this stuff. So let's stop talking. I'm just gonna jump right into it. So, like I said, you guys have to choose 5 out of the 10 story elements that are important to you as a storyteller. So you have characters, plot, diversity, music, visual/shots, editing, tone, acting, setting, and pacing. All right, so I'm gonna start with you, Brielle. Go around the room and just choose your top 5 that you believe that is important to you as a storyteller.
Okay, so I think the first most important thing would be the plot. Because, like, the story can always be the same and told over and over again, but the plot is what's going to make it unique to what you're doing. Then the characters are going to drive that plot. You're going to have people that you can, like, attach yourself to, associate yourself with throughout the entire run of the story. So it's important to have, like, those characters develop throughout the story and have a personality adding some flair to the whole thing. Then we'll have the tone, like just setting the tone for the overall thing. Like, what genre do you want it to be? Is it dramatic? Is it, suspenseful, funny? You're going to set the tone overall to really gauge the audience like that. And then with pacing, we'll kind of go along with the tone of the story. Just like, how long is it going to be? What beats are going to happen here and there? Where's the comedic timing? And then it all kind of gets pulled together with the editing overall. The editing is really going to drive the story because, like, even if there's, like, some little blunders with the acting or this or that, you can pick and choose what you want to show to bring an overall amazing picture.
Right. Well said, well said. Editing is important. Also, it's pacing because you don't want things to be too long. But like you said, editing can help out with the pacing, all those things. All right, so Xander, we're gonna go to you. So, what do you believe as a storyteller is your top 5?
Okay, my top 5 would first start off with tone because I think it's a great start to set out what you're looking to accomplish in the whole story, telling the story. And if you ever get lost, you can always go back to that. Second would be, of course, plot because you need a story to tell. And characters because you need someone to relate to and show people like how you want to drive the story along. And characters are a great way to kind of immerse people into what you want to say. Then I would say music, score, sound, because those kind of evoke emotion. And I think some of the best movies or films or anything that I've seen, they kind of evoke an emotion out of me or help me connect to that character, sometimes through music or through sound effects. It's a great way to kind of bring out more intricate, like, tone of the story, actually. Then I would say editing because it's you need to push it along. And with editing, you only choose what's most important, and it keeps the pacing as well. And then lastly, I would probably say diversity because we need to see something different. I watch things so it opened my mind to different perspectives that I haven't seen before or new understandings that I can, help learn different people. And that goes for culture, that goes for acting, that goes for everything. So yeah, those would be my top 5.
Okay, all right, yes. Editing is important. Like you iterated as well, and pacing, and yeah, diversity is always important to see something different, something new. Diversity for the most part nowadays seems like it's just like a buzzword. I'm gonna put this, put that, but what is the purpose? Why does it actually have to fit into the story? And music, as you said, and also sound, because you have bad sound, that's like 70% of your movie, and most film festivals won't even look at it. So sound is highly, highly important. Oh, sorry, Marcus, your top 5. What do you believe is important to you as a storyteller?
Yeah, I think for me, I think plot and characters kind of go hand in hand. So yeah, a story, the plot has to be. Well, a lot of films tend to fail is they worry about the glitz and glamour, and they can't get the structure of the script right. So I think plot is very important. Where the story is going, how it's going to be told. I think that's very, very crucial. I think you need characters to carry that plot. Like I mentioned before, I think if the plot, even if it's shaky, you have a lot of films that the characters carry it and you can kind of overlook it. The characters, they don't have to be relatable, they just have to be interesting. Do you want to follow on this journey with them? So I think that's very crucial. I do think editing is very, very crucial because, like you mentioned, you can kind of chop off the bad. Shots that you think you may have needed, you really don't need it. It doesn't add to the pacing of it. I think that's very important, and it kind of leads to my next one, which is pacing. So because it's as directors, we're selfish. We want to keep certain shots, but we have to let it go. That I don't. Like I want it, but you don't need it. Does it really service the story?
Right,
Is the
right,
scene
right.
really important in the context of what's going on? So, and then I would say acting. I think if you can get the best, and I say that more coming from a filmmaker as a director, because I feel if you get the best out of your actor, you've done your job. I see a lot of performances, and it's like, we tend to blame the actor, but it's like, did the director do their job to get them to be their best? So I tend to look at that as well, acting. Yeah, so I guess that would be my top 5 characters: plot, editing, pacing, and acting.
Yes, 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 yes. Acting is important. Need strong actors. If your actors are not good, then your movie is gonna be, on Rotten Tomatoes, and people will say all that stuff. So yeah, so I'm gonna go. So for me, characters are important. Without characters, you don't have a story at all. Characters are essential as to pretty much putting some type of something on your bread, whether it's butter or jam, or versus just bland. Plot. Without a plot, you don't have a story at all. As you probably already know, there's different types of plots. You have, internal struggles and external struggles. So pretty much the plot can be the man versus himself in terms of maybe he's battling depression or being drunk or whatever. Then the external plot is where you see Marvel movies fighting somebody, villains, things of that nature. And your plot essential because who, what, when, why, and how. Music is important. One of my favorite movies is The Prince of Egypt because of the music of Hans Zimmer, as well as The Lion King, and also Inception because of Hans Zimmer. So music is highly important to me because music can also tell a story as well. So I think those are definitely my top 3. Editing is important because you can save a lot of things.
Yeah, definitely.
If you're acting, which is also my 4th, if your acting's not strong, editing, you can use different shots or different angles to help a performance, or use inserts. I like to use inserts a lot in some of my stuff, and so editing can also help with the pacing as well, which might kind of be my 5. I'm gonna really think about that because I think also setting is important. No one actually said setting, because setting is like where the story takes place. I think is also important because that can also help with diversity. So I think all of them kind of blend into one another as well. I know people love visuals, shots.
Yeah.
Cinematography is definitely a category. for the Academy Awards and Oscars and all that stuff. But I think if you don't have good sound, then what looks like it's terrible. For the most part. World Star, right? We can watch a lot of things on World Star and pixelated, and people will still watch it. But if the sound is terrible, you're cutting it off.
Yeah.
And also, film festivals won't even look at your stuff if sound is not even good. So,
Yeah.
that's highly important. So, I think to reiterate, characters important because they're essential. Plots, you don't have a plot, you don't have a story at all. Music is important to me because music is something that I've always enjoyed as a kid, but also it helps to tell a story as well. Um, I would say acting for definitely strong actors to help carry out the movie and the tone and all those things can help as well. And then I would say editing because you can definitely fix your tone in editing. You can also fix the acting. And you can also fix the pacing as well. So that is my top 5. So thank you guys for tuning in for our first introductory segment of top 5. We have a lot of dope things coming up in the future. One in particular, we're going to be going around talking about our top 5 directors. We're going to be talking about our top 5 anime. I know anime, people love anime, so we definitely want to get into that as well. And also talking about some classic movies as well. So we have a lot coming up on it. So we hope to see you. Hope that you get a chance to pretty much, tune in for what we have come next. So can't wait to see you guys in the future. Take care.